Okay, so here's the thing. Writing a song is wonderful. Making a great demo of your song is equally wonderful. But if you actually want anything to happen with your song, you have to pitch it. You have to get that song out in the world. It sounds obvious, but nothing good will happen with your songs unless you show them to people. I can tell you why most songwriters, myself included early on in my career, don't pitch their songs. Number one, it's work. This is no longer the romantic artist lighting up a cigarette and in the middle of the night walking the streets and creating a song out of their mind. This is get up in the morning and send emails and make follow-up phone calls and all of the stuff that every other, and I have a friend that doesn't even say the word, J-O-B is about. So what you really have to remind yourself is, if you're going to be a professional songwriter, there is work involved. Another reason that songwriters tend not to pitch their songs is, of course, the fear or risk of rejection. I get it. I understand. It is definitely real. You've created something that's meaningful to you, and the thought of putting it out there could open it up to criticism. That's not a great feeling, but this is part of what developing a thicker skin is all about. Third of all, a lot of times, especially early on in our career, we don't even know where to go or who we should contact to begin with. So a lot of that hesitancy comes from not really knowing how to even make a plan or where to go when it comes to pitching your songs. Well, here's something that you can think about right away. There are pitch listing services, and these are services that either let you know as a songwriter who is looking for songs. One of the first ones that I recommend is called songquarters.com, and they have a listing of the artists that are out there looking for songs and what style of song and that sort of thing. If you're looking for something more on the countryside, there's one called rowfacts.com that comes out of Music Row magazine's listing. And then for a little bit more eclectic service that's not just a listing service, but acts as kind of a go-between between the songwriter and the ultimate music supervisor or A&R person at a record label, Taxi.com is a reputable service that acts as, ready, the vehicle to help you get your songs to people in the industry. They act as your built-in credibility. And here's how that works. Taxi has relationships with music supervisors, A&R people, publishers. Taxi will listen to your songs, decide if they are of a caliber that they can be passed on, and then they pass them on with their blessing so that by the time the song gets to the music supervisor, it's already been given the thumbs up by a reputable organization like Taxi. So those are some ways that you can actively get your songs out there without even having to live in one of the big music cities, meaning New York, Nashville, or Los Angeles. Now, that being said, music conferences in the major music cities are wonderful for networking and for pitching your songs. And there are music conferences that are organized by performing rights organizations like BMI and ASCAP and CSAC. And on top of that, there are songwriting organizations that put on conferences and gatherings that are really useful. And the Nashville Songwriters Association is a great organization that does these sorts of events regularly. Finally, fortune favors the bold. In other words, if you want good things to happen, get out there and make them happen. It is so rare that anything, even if you've been in the industry for a long time, that anything will come to you. More often than not, if your mentality is, I have to go out there and get these songs heard, that's when the good things start to happen.